Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the breakfast show. We are on the 10th of May. Wow, time passes very fast, and we are only a few days from Hari Raya Adil Fitri. That's right. So, a happy Hari Raya. If I don't have a chance to say to all our Muslim listeners and also to our members in here, Selamat Berbuka Puasa if you are doing it tonight. And I don't think this year, or in many cases, we are able to balik kampung, right? Because of the MCO continue to rage through our country. So everybody stay alert and stay safe. All right, and having said that, I think many of us have a lot more time right now compared to what we have early on. At least the shopping malls, we know many of them are closed. The one near my place, Bandar Utama, it's really close. So that gives us a lot more time to learn about market, and we really appreciate your time spent with us. So we want to make sure the time that you spend with us are well spent. You learn something. And definitely last Saturday you guys who came to our fundamental investing basics, how to invest with low risk and high return, I think you all got a special bonus to the end. And I think this morning already Surah Jalan already, right? So those shares, I'll leave it with you without, but we will also take a look at something more for you. So if you're happy with what you've seen, and those of you who benefited from our talk, just go over to our Google feedback or even to our Facebook to give us a feedback so we can continue to improve our services to you. All right, let's move on to what we have for you this morning. That's right. Now, this morning is we are looking at the beginner level. So those of you who are coming this morning in here, we thank you for sharing this video in your timeline. And again, our top fans giveaway continue. But we do have something special. You can see on top of me here is the iPad giveaway. That's right. We are encouraging more people to participate and use SMARTRobie. And also those of you who don't know, we're also having the beta US in here. You can see just on top here, you can switch on to the US data, but this is still a working version. You can use it and try it out as we did sort of a sneak preview last Saturday, and it is still ongoing. We will turn it off and turn it on in here, so to the liking of us, just to test out the kind of demand that we are seeing in the US market. That's right. All right, let's move on to this morning. That's right. Now, this morning is Monday. So Monday, we usually focus on the beginning level and a trading plan in here. I think last week, you all remember what trade idea we looked at last week, which you did well. So don't go away. We're going to be looking at on our lesson learned. Now, let's look at our market headline this morning. Our market headline after a long weekend that we have, and another longer weekend this week, the Hari Raya, which the Bursa market will, remember, it will close on Wednesday 12 o'clock, but we will still do our breakfast show at 10:15 in here. But the Wednesday night, our usual FB talk, we probably take a rest. I think all of us will take a rest over the next 2 or 3 days, especially on the Wednesday night, Thursday and Friday, and be back next week. All right, so at least you guys will keep track. For those of you who are the so-called local ones and have more time, you might want to look at the US market on Thursday and Friday in here. Especially, that's why we are opening the US S&P 500 on SMARTRobie. Then you can check out many of the trade ideas that you have. You can backtest and even have a chance to diversify and start planning along the lines that we talked about last Saturday in here. All right, this is the iPad giveaway that we've been talking about in here, and we are pretty proud of it in here and trying to encourage more people to use. Of course, you can check more notification in here. Just you can see it up here. There is chat with an iPad, and there are some instruction in here. Check out this and you will know how to win it. But don't forget, even if you don't win, the first 50 submission, all right, the first 50 submission will get a 50 ringgit grab. Isn't that great, right? At least the lunch for Hari Raya or the next couple of days will be provided by. So make sure you grab it, and do take note, these are your best trades, and it has to be real trades. Real trades, which means you need to show some proof that you actually done it on the real trades in your trading platform in here. All right, so let's move on to what we have for you this week is our news spotlight. Now, this week, the Bank Negara is likely to come out and announce our Q1 2021 GDP growth in here. No doubt there are talks about the market contracting about 3.4%. Let me just switch on to a laser pointer in here. But I think it's important to note that our GDP has improved coming from it, and at best it's about 7% that you see here. 7%, at worst is about 5%. So we still have a contraction for Q1 at 3% year on year compared to last year in here. But everything looking good. But do take note of the GDP growth, because the GDP growth is one of the telltale sign. But again, it is a lagging indicator. The moving forward, the leading indicator usually is our KLCI. Now let's look at our KLCI right now. Hit SMARTRobie there, and you will see that the KLCI, switching to a wider chart here. Where are we up this morning? That's right. Now this morning market seems to be, Hari Raya festive season already lah. That means market can't go up or can't go down. Maybe there is a chance for it to rally, but we have to see. Right now it is at the bearish red trend zone. You can see here, you can see last week we have a spring SP. You can notice that on the right hand side, SP. It's a very powerful sign of strength. That means market's not going up, but can it go forward? If not, it just seems to be ding dong, left and right in here. But remember, it is yellow Pentagon, and it is yellow trend zone. Yellow trend zone does mean something. Those of you who that Coach Arif last Saturday share about the fixed rules that we talk about in our trading strategy. That's right, our trading strategy. But let's look at the market this morning. What seems to be active? KTG, Focus, Care Plus, Tenko, FNM is up. Does that mean the rubber glove stocks continue to hover well in regards to the likelihood of increasing cases that we've seen in our current market in India? What do you think? Let me know and type it in there. And I do hope that your portfolio are doing as well as our too. All right, let's look at the next news. Is the our Prime Minister Department, which is Datuk Sri Mustafa, came out and did a bit of lip service saying that how well our economy is recovering, as such that some of the main indicators is definitely our IPI, Industrial Production Index, which jumped 9.3% in March, and the highest ever since 2013. Of course, we are coming from a very low base back in March 2020, and a lot of manufacturing moving. We have seen the market recovery. Of course, the US has done pretty well with the vaccine rollout that we see in India, and that's what the market is recovering. Of course, you will also agree that the vaccine rollout is important. Right now, if you look at India, where we see the cases continue to pile up to 400,000 a day, you can see the Nifty of the Indian stock market also take a hit. So there's always some sort of correlation, how fast the vaccine rollout and how fast the COVID can be contained. So far in Malaysia, our vaccine rollout seems to be in a very slow pace. We won't be able to get everybody vaccine at least until next year, February 2022. So that means our market has like it or not, some limitation for it to go higher. And that's the so-called truth that I want to really sound out to everybody in here. If you want to be very, very optimistic about our market, definitely it is not because of the vaccine. There is a correlation tied to how much we can, the economy can recover to the vaccine cases in here. So that's why we have the US S&P 500 turn on as a sneak preview for you to start learning about the US market in here. And of course, there's many ways to trade it. As last week, we did talk about the US market too. And going forward, there'll be more time spent on this US market too. All right, now look at the major decliner this morning is Euro and TAAnn, and also MPI in here. Let's switch on to our next news. Now, next news is the Plantation. That's right. Now, we all seen that Plantation has started to make big movement in there, and no doubt this news on Kimlong. Let's take a look at Kimlong this morning in here. All right, switching to a wider chart here. Kimlong, hit that one, and let's take a look at the stock chart here. Okay, so you can see Kimlong started to move up already on the 18th of April after being sort of moving sideways in here. That looks pretty good because of the big bullish days that we are seeing on the Plantation. Let's look at the live stock price this morning, and it's up 2.6% in here. Now, part of this is also due to the contribution of Kimlong going into biogas and power generation, right? Power generation in here. I think they're using some sort of biomass, continue to able to generate more earnings in here, as such that some of the analysts are covering this, saying that our Plantation, this may be one of the better ones. Let's take a look at the fundamentals, of course, right? Stock fundamentals in here for Kimlong. Right, oh, look at that one, right? Now, definitely on the side of the PE, it's still cheap, half of what the sector is at 32 times, ROE of 12 times, and guess what? Look at the dividend. And those of you, especially the senior one, are looking for some sort of a yield. Kimlong does give a 6% dividend, much higher than the sector average of 2.6%. Does give you a kind of, yield, those landing for you in here. And of course, having said that, you can see there are Teo Chuan King Senjurberhat. I do think this is a family member of the shareholder, as this was updated on the annual report 22nd of May 2020. All right, so that seems to be something you want to look at in here. And also right now, let's look at Kimlong. Right now, I think we did saw it just now. Let's hit again livestock prices. It's 158, and the analyst from UOB Kay Hian giving it a buy call for target price of 175, which is not much actually. Another 15 cents, only about a 10% upside from here. All right, let's move on to our next news. Now, our next news is the poultry maker, or poultry factory, right? And they're talking about how much the corn prices has gone up, and corn is a feed for the chicken prices in here. But having said that, CAP has moved up a fair bit already. Let's take a look at CAP, CAB, CAP Cakaran, and they're looking into. Okay, let's hit that one. Let's look at the stock price, and you can see stock price in here did have a good support around the 42 cents. I started to make up this morning in here. So according to this report, is that the feed prices is having an impact on their operation, and they are looking for some sort of joint venture or cost controlling in here, streamlining their supply chain so to able to bring the cost down and increasing profit from here. But what's more important is the chart that we see in here. We do have a resistance, if you check it out in here, around the 48 cents. The 48 cents seems to be that kind of resistance. Let's take a look at this morning, where is CAP Cakaran, and it is down 2.5%. All right, down 2.5% in here. So is this a good stock to look at? Definitely you want to look at the fundamentals compared to what we saw for Kimlong. Is this a better share? All right, definitely if you look from the PE standpoint, it is pricey, 45 times, and a dividend of 0.5. So all things being equal, from a dividend standpoint, you have CAP, which is a poultry maker, then you have a plantation, and we'll look from here. Also, let me just give you a hint, going back to the main menu, going to the hot sectors that you see here, right? Definitely, if you look at the right side, plantation and logistic. Logistics seems to be the one doing in well here. All right, that's something that you guys should take note of. All right, let's move on to our next news. Now, next news is on technology. Vitrox did came out and spoke to the Star Media about the stronger demand for their product despite of the global chip shortage that they have. They continue to be very positive. Of course, the usual suspect are the growth that we see in artificial intelligence, 5Gs, and they are looking at the compounded annual growth rate of 6.9%. Now, if you look it compared to the rubber glove, I do think rubber glove are bigger. It's just that rubber glove has not taken the kind of inning because of COVID. One day will end. So COVID one day will end. That will translate to less demand, right? And that's the thing. But if you think very deeply, even with COVID ending, the demand for the rubber glove was still going to be there, right? Because people are more conscious, people are more what we call health conscious, especially from the industrial standpoints. They will still use a lot of rubber glove in here. Now, Vitrox has allocated some amount of to this new project in here, and if you looked at, they also take note that we added 20 new customers in the first quarter of 2021. So that would also means they continue to try to get more sales, more revenue from these 20 customers in here. So things are looking good. Let's look at Vitrox this morning in here. Now, do take note, the industry for technology has gone out of what we call out of favor. As you can see on top of me here, you don't even see technology in the top 5 sectors there. All right, so let's look at Vitrox for the stock prices. And right now you can see that's what we talk about here, right? The red Pentagon. So red Pentagon in here, just stay aside first. You wait for the red onto the green Pentagon, or at least in the blue trend zone. Having said that, it did turn green Pentagon on 4th of April. Couldn't go higher. You take note just on top of here, the 3 UT. UT stand for upthrust, and these are what we call sign of weakness. Of course, in the following slides, I have a couple of videos. You can watch them and understand more of these elements of sign of UT here. All right. So that is Vitrox. Let's move on to our next news. Now, next news is the focus on the US market. Now, Dow Jones has hit a new high. That's right, Dow Jones hit. Even S&P 500 is only the Nasdaq hasn't been performing well because of the interest rate. Now, all things being said, economy recovery is back. As I said before, the vaccine rollout. However, the yesterday report from the job numbers did turn a bit lower, only increased by 266%. You can see here, 266K compare rising in 770,000 in here. Of course, more jobs is better, but the lame complaint is that they couldn't able to get number of people fill up for jobs in here because of the not able to roll up the $15 US minimum salary. Perhaps if you can able to raise that, that will be good. But having said that, the 10-year yield interest rate, which we always talk about in here, due to this lower expected job numbers in here, has moved up higher. But if you look at the 10-year yield, it actually has a spring. So we are expecting yield to move up, then tech stocks will come down. All right, so that is the prognosis what we have for the US market in here. And so far you can see from the headline, the bad news wasn't so bad at all. All right, let's move on to our next is the leaderboard for our Pentagon Guider, which is a flagship of our products and also our stock pick here. Let's go back over here. You can see Pentagon Guider on the far left there. Hit that one and you were able to see this Pentagon Guider here. We got like 6 trade idea this morning in here, and they keep changing every day. But even if you look back in the last 2 months of the highlight of our Pentagon, of course we don't win all the time. We do pick a few of them: UMW, Axiata, CBIP, DNO up about 18%. Some of the earlier one we have sort of put it aside. Top Glove 12, Great Tech, but the more recent one, 3rd of May and 26th of April, Fajar has certainly come in and not disappointed us. Let's take a look at our lesson learned next. All right, so our lesson learned next is the stock trade idea that we did last week and the week before. So let's take a look at TAAnn. Okay, I'll bring this, and of course those of you who wish to upgrade the charts, okay, to a plugin like you see here, definitely this is something that you want to take on. We have our Raya combo 2 for the price of 1, very special price in here, and I think you're able to do that. Take advantage of this one here, and you're able to see some of the things that I see here exactly, and also the coaching that we have for you. And also, so if you look from the first one that we have is TAAnn, which is again plantation, and the timber. We do take note that the timber industry, it's actually doing quite well because of Joe Biden infrastructure building. The home prices are going up. More people are doing home renovation. So timber is going to go up. And TAAnn, if I'm not mistaken, let's go with TAAnn and look at the website here. Okay, hit on the website, and all we got to do is go stock fundamentals and to get the okay, and you can see the TAAnn website. Hit that one. I think they are both in plantation and timber, right? They are based off, okay, you can, let me just pitch this a bit here. Well, see a lot of trees. Yep, forest plantation. So timber is going to be benefiting. So this TAAnn, I think, still has a little bit more room to move higher compared to the tech stocks in here, because these has been the lagger. Okay, so they are lagging, and you can also look at the top side in here. Oh, okay, you can see, right? On the far right hand side here, you can see you got palm oil, you got timber. So this is just nice to piggyback from the US recovery that we've seen so far. It doesn't take genius, and if you understand this kind of sector rotation, tying back to the US market in here, you will do pretty well than most fund manager, at least not being a sheep. Right? I think one of the things that we want to do in Trade VSA and SMARTRobie is to put you in the right position and really think like a professional, rather than you go to talks and say, when is the next stocks? What is the next stock tips? I think that's very, very what we call under very low kind of thinking. Very important, as I said before last Saturday, we as trader, we as investor, not only want to be trained, but we also want to develop ourselves, just like you develop stronger muscle, stronger bones, stronger teeth, so you're able to have a very healthy life. And very similar, we want to develop a strong mindset with a strong tools that your portfolio will continue to do well, and then you were able to benefit from many of this big boom that we've seen rather than going well. Do you agree what I'm saying, right? Having wealth and health are two very important aspect, especially in the times that we live in this COVID-19, where income and also salary remain to be challenged. Do you agree what I say? If I do, just give me another thumbs up. All right. So let's look at the TAAnn. Okay, TAAnn here. Okay, TAAnn, you can see, yep, TAAnn picks up and up. Wow, is that 7%? No, 1.66%. Now, if you look from where we had, where they turned green Pentagon couple, we have a NS. So NS tend to be very, very powerful. Okay, so take a look at that one. It's one of those very good screener that we have. Of course, if you get our combo Raya, then you were able to access to many of our NS screener in here. Continue to run out in here. So that is for the TAAnn. And you have Fajar. Fajar, last week we had this idea. Okay, Fajar is also one of the trades that we did do for our Pentagon guided trading strategy in here. You can see immediately after the green Pentagon, and you can see, right, very, very classic. We got Spring, we got NS, we got lots and lots of this, what we call SOS. Okay, SOS. Now remember, we always talk about the conceptual maps again. These are things that we share with you also last Saturday in here, and the market picks up, and now we have a nice pullback. All right, now pullback is also one of those very, very powerful trade setup that have very high probability, and that is the one we cover extensively by our coach Fu, which have many years experience and actually done a lot of back tests in here. He is and is willing to share in this in the masterclass, and some of these who are regular member, you will know how our coaches are there to service many of our members in our Telegram chat room here. Okay, so TAAnn will be okay going forward. TAAnn as well as Fajar. Now the next one we had was MFCB. Now MFCB is a play on energy. Okay, energy mega first. Okay, and it's around $6-7, I believe. Yeah, $7 in here. Now last week the market tried, it came from a very low base. It hasn't ready to gone up yet, and since then has turned back to red Pentagon on the 3rd of May, which is last week. You could see the market came back down, and you can see also the step up volume. Okay, the step up volume on the down bar continued to increase. So from a advanced level standpoint, that's not really a healthy sign. When you have stepped down, means a lot of profit taking and the market in here. But the good thing is that you do have a support around 705 ringgit in here. 705 ringgit in here. So let's look at MFCB, whether it is worthwhile to hold it a bit longer. All right, looking at the fundamentals, or you want to cut and move to somewhere else. But again, remember, any shares that is 7 ringgit and above, the rate of it is going to move up a lot. If you look from here, on hindsight, item number 3, okay, you will see MFCB only down 2%. Smaller penny stocks will move up, but that it also will cause more volatility in your portfolio. Now, if we look at MFCB, check it out, guys. The FA ratings is 7 out of 8. That basically tells you it's a good fundamental stocks with the sector average about 18 times, PE is about 10 times, giving a small dividend, 1.7%, compared to Kimlong, which is a 6%. That is a much better play in here, and a target price, of course, on a PE of 15.5 times, giving it a 10 ringgit, right? About a 42% from there onwards. Right now, it is 10 times, almost about 11 times, whether it can break through the 750 ringgit. But do take note, MFCB came from what? It actually came from 8 ringgit. It had a resistance 8 ringgit. So right now it's building a nice base. When the energy sectors start to move up, that we see in US, this will continue. But right now the energy seems to be on a sideways movement in here. They are not taking any cue from the US market in here. Now remember, whenever you come to our program, we always refer the big brother, the Taiko. The Taiko in this case is the US market in here. You've been following us you will know that we are very pro to the US side in here. And in many ways, when you have US and you have Malaysia, then you will know how the market pan out. And it's no surprises. A lot of the smart money use information like what we just talked about from the US market to influence the local shares inside there, right? And because many of our so-called local trader and retailer, they only know one market. That's it. They focus so much on it. But I think very important what we talk about, train trader and train investor, the educational level that we want to share with you is to bring you up to speed and in par with many of the professionals in the industry. I think that's important what we share in here. Do you agree with what I said? If you do, give me another thumbs up. All right. That's let's go on. So we done those two. Let's look at this week. Okay, this week, what we have for you in our trade idea here. All right, now we have two shares, SOP and Pestech. So this is rather as a beginner level. So usually in the beginner level, I will do the trading plan. Let's take a look at the market, okay? So we will do SOP since the bullish side of the market right now. Switching to bigger chart for you here. So let's look at SOP. And let's do the Sarawak Oil Plantation in here. Yes, market is up 1.25%. Switch to weekly chart. Okay, you can see. All right. Oh, so weekly is still congesting. Okay, so let's say weekly chart for SO still congesting between what's that? What is the level here we talk about? 425 and what is this support level here? 370. Okay, plantation sector becomes bullish. Okay, let's switch back to a daily chart. That's what we always talk about. It's important that you get one of these plugins like we said before. Definitely the combo Raya with a very good promotion will help you to get there. Okay, so then you can see green Pentagon in here. Market started to move up. SOP very nicely done. So okay, let's look at that. We have green Pentagon. Okay, and we have a small pullback. Okay, pullback and market now taking off. Okay, so we have green Pentagon on 4th of May. 4th of May 2021. All right. Okay, so important price level, let's take a look at this. Important price level we can say is 425, isn't it? Okay. 425, and what date was that? When the old high made was, wow, 8th of January, okay? On 8th January 2021. Price to enter is right now, this price here, which is closing price 415, okay? 415. And the stop loss, we just put it at the ATR stop loss. You can see here ATR is 483, so we just put 380. Okay, profit target. Okay, profit target, what we do is we go over to our Pentagon guider here, just on top of me, right? And you can look here, SOP TP 458. Okay, 458, or you can wait for red Pentagon. So okay, 458 or red Pentagon. If you want to write, or you can do what? You can take partial profits at 458, then take a bit more on the next red Pentagon. Okay, and you want to hold it for 2 months. So 2 months, and we will be on June, July. So 10th of July. 2 months. So that's it. So we will save this, and next week we'll come back and review this. Earlier on, we have the the Fajar. You can see Fajar was the earlier one that we kept it, but I thought was just okay. Profit target 85 cents for Fajar. Okay, has it hit yet? Fajar building 85 cents. Yeah, we hit it already. Okay. What was the high? High was 87 cents. There you go. So we hit it already. No need to wait for 2 months. Of course, you can always take partial profit and let the rest run until you see a red Pentagon, whichever falls. So we were spot on this one. You can see, let me just bring this up. Yeah, you can see here, profit target. So we can just put hit on, what date was this? Apa hari itu? Itu hari is 6th of May. Okay, So it's good that you keep this kind of record, all right? And when you do, you will reinforce again part of the train trader and the train investor, what we always talk about in here. Just like you continue to develop your mind, you read a lot of books, same also for trading. It doesn't come naturally, to be frank, especially when it comes to money. And those are things we talk about, the trading psychology, remember, in session 2 last Saturday, those of you who came for our thing in here, we talked very important about that one too. So for the program going forward, what we want to do is really focus on both things, both the software, and we have our coaches continue to to train you guys on the skill and analysis. And my side is more overall portfolio and overseeing the wealth and health of your mental and the trading psychology. So that way we will benefit together. I think that is the message I want to go. So this is fine, Fajar. We hit that one already. So we'll just pull this down here. And we go on to our next session in here. All right. So our next session will be on the Pentagon guided strategy. Now, Pentagon strategy, as I said before, we continue to flash you is to encourage you in 2020 through our back testing. Like we say, Fajar, we hit that one. We made about 106% on the portfolio of 35,000. I think we updated this also last Saturday in our fundamental basic, which gives us about 15% return with a win rate of 75% in here. All right, pretty decent, I would say. All right, depending the level of skills that you all have. Some people say that I want to win 90% and 10%, those kind of things. You have to find out something, right? So a lot of seafood out there will tell you all kinds of very high win rate, but you need to question it. All right, again, going back to the agenda, being train trader and train investor, you must always ask the right question. Just like, would you go into those kind of, scheme chapakaya? And very similar, you need to ask, if this thing don't work, how much would I stand to lose? All right, those are the so-called common question. Point is, we want to teach you to be smart, right? And this is, so we want to share with you, things that will help us to make us smarter, right? So, and these are the schematics, as I said before, how, what happened to Fajar. Normally, when the market push up, you do see some pullback in here, and understand, why they pull back. Look at the price and volume in here, and definitely this QR code that you see on top will be a good start. Those of you who are first time in our talk in here, check it out in here. It's just a short tutorial. And of course, those of you who want to upgrade your skill, definitely you should come for our masterclass, which is we are planning in June intake. Just nice. And also, just take note, last Saturday we did this talk, including we talk about trading strategies, we talk about the Pentagon guider, and we also talk about the growth stock. But what we're going to do is that we will send out a WhatsApp notification to those of you who have registered with us, because some of you have put in your handphone numbers, and we will send you a free bonus on the WhatsApp. So do take note, if you do send it in here, make sure just acknowledge it, and there will be some mini tasks that you need to do to continue your learning to in there. Don't block us, please, okay, because it's a WhatsApp. If the number, it's a first time number in there, generally people may thought it as a spam. So thank you in here as a gesture for those of you who came last Saturday. We'd like to give you a free bonus in here. All right. Also, this is the last day. Just want to make an announcement. The last day for our Raya combo, right? 2 for the price of 1 will be on the Wednesday. That's right, Wednesday in here. That's for our June intake. And right now we're going to get down to the stocks. Okay, let's look at some of the stocks that we have. And thank you for you to those who came and share on the Google Play Store as well as the Apple Store, and also those of you who share also want to go. So we're going to look at some of the stocks that you want me to look at. If I do get some, right? There is a question here. May I know how effective this SMARTRobie trading plan? Now, if you look at the Pentagon guided strategy that you've seen in here, it is 75% win rate. All right. It all depends on the rules that you have. You can simply buy. You don't follow, right? Your win rate will be lower. Okay. So we got Simon in here. That's right. SCRAM. Let's take a look at SCRAM. Okay. ESC. Okay, SCRAM. Did I get it right? ESC. Let me just get it right. Okay, big ESCER. Okay, SCRAM ceramic. All right, this one, if you look here, got a very powerful spring here. Market did try to go up, and I do think if you look from a judge of it, the volumes are very low. It's going to move sideways for the time being. The shorter term, the uptrend movement, it seems to be faded already, because the takeoff need to be fast. But when you come back to this side, as I said before, Simon, right, this again we talked very a lot and cover this in our pullback on our second day of our masterclass. So I'm not going to review too much. Having said that, these are for our masterclass members. We talk about this strategy, but having said that, this one was just going to move sideways for some time. All right, let's look at big for Miss Lee, which is also one of our members. Okay, big industry in here. Wow, this one is good. Did you get in earlier on? Yeah, you can see, right? This is what we talk about, the very powerful NS. And those of you who are, Miss Lee is one of our masterclass member in here, and Zac is one of our specialists on the NS no supply. So when you see the no supply this morning, you get in and buy. All right, just like we talked about last Saturday, those 3 plantation stocks, remember guys? Right, they already started to move up also, right? So this one's good. I hope you got in. But if you have not got in, you have to wait for the pullback. There are many stocks. It's going to do like that. But if I'm mistaken, big should be a plantation, right? It moves like a plantation stocks. Okay, we got Tues. This is steel stock. Yeah, this is a metal. Yep. It forms uptrust right now. It's important that the uptrust need to be taken out, which is $2 in here. Else, wait for a pullback, and you got to look at the judge from the what we call the volume in here. So far it's still okay, right? The market in here expect some pullback. Okay, let's look at Inari for Jessica. Now Inari not so good lah. Okay, not so good. Why? Red Pentagon, that means market's trending now. Broken the ATR stop loss, have to exit. Depending whether you're long-term or short-term, if you follow our normal program, the time frame for 2 months, this is the one you need to exit. The earnings will come, so the earnings could cause 2 things. If it's a very peak performance, peak EPS, it will behave a bit like rubber glove. Then you'll see some sell-off that we've seen in Globetronics in here. Okay, TAAnn I think moved a fair bit already, and there are some news in there. TAAnn. Okay, oh, TAAnn. Yeah, TAAnn, remember this one in here, no green Pentagon, no blue trend zone. So this one in here may follow a sideways market in here. All right, Rico. Okay, so those of you who so do take note, if you do feel that our show here, what we do in Breakfast Show helps you a lot, do go over to our Google Play Store. All right, and give us a review if you are an Android user, and if you're an Apple user, do go over there. So that's all we have for this morning in here. And don't forget, okay, don't forget to do this, our giveaway. That's right. Now, if you are a YouTube subscriber, subscribe also to our YouTube in here to continue to follow many of our talk. And don't forget our iPad giveaway for the campaign for the month of May to July. Submit your best stocks, okay, and have a chance to win either an iPad or the first 50 users, 50 submission will grab a $50 voucher on us. All right, so make sure you do this and tell us your result. There is some condition in there. Go over to the mail that you see on top here, right, and check out the inbox for all information that we see. So for those of you who are listening for the first time, do join our Telegram chat room in here for all information that we talk about here. Absolutely free, and a lot of sharing from our experiences, from myself and from my coaches to you, to bring you good tidings. And also Selamat Hari Raya to all our Muslim friends in here. And I'll see you on Wednesday before we break off for the Hari Raya festive season. Thank you for coming, and thank you all. We really appreciate your time. I hope today you have learned something too, and we are fair enough to share our knowledge with you. Thank you, and bye-bye.